Welcome to the course. Thank you for choosing this course. And in this course, you'll be focused on developing practical skills on how you can become a healthcare analyst by developing your data analytical skills using SQL and Power BI to grow in the field of health informatics. By the end of this course, you will learn skills that you can directly apply to your analytical roles within the health informatics field. You can follow along with this course and at the end create your own hospital key performance indicator dashboard, which you can link to in your resume to show hiring managers your technical skills. Also, you'll be able to speak to the data exploration and cleansing steps you took to build this dashboard, which is oftentimes most of the analyst's work. Module 1. In this module, we will go over the objectives of the course and the overall goal. My name is Alana Esty. I'm the creator of the Health Analytic Insights podcast. I have my master's in biomedical engineering, and I currently work in the health informatics field. I have been in your shoes, where it took me a long time to get a role in the health informatics field. Through hosting this podcast and interviewing many people who broke into the health informatics field, as well as my own work experience, I've seen the importance of developing technical skills. As you may have experienced during your job search, many roles in the health informatics field are looking for those years of experience, even though some might be listed as entry level. So you get into this chicken and egg situation where you need experience to get the job, but the job requires experience. Although getting a job can be equal parts timing and luck, just throwing your resume into the void of LinkedIn or Indeed can feel like you're not even moving the needle. Instead, you can consider developing your technical skills in Power BI and SQL by crafting a portfolio project with a clinical lens to help develop and showcase your technical skills. Especially if you already have a strong clinical background as a nurse or pharmacy technician, showing that you also have the necessary technical skills can help and strengthen your application in the health informatics field. Once you have followed the steps in the course and created your own portfolio project, you can link to it in a professional blog or just hyperlinked in your resume, providing you with something to talk about with employers and showcase the initiative you took in creating this project. Peter Drucker has been attributed with the quote, "If you can't measure it, you can't improve it." Clinical business intelligence can be described as a suite of tools and programs with a focus on measuring clinical metrics, for example, patient readmission rates, patient satisfaction scores, etc. Some of these tools might include software tools such as R, Excel, or Python, or data visualization tools such as Power BI, Tableau, Click. There are many tools that exist, and if you have an analyst mindset, you might want to first dive directly into analyzing the data. But I believe that the first step should be having conversations with frontline staff, see what issues exist in their daily roles and how these business intelligence tools can help aid or reduce the burden on their workflow. When I first think of how I will solve a data problem, I usually refer to the CRISP-DM, or Cross-Industry Standard Process for Data Mining Methodology, developed by IBM. So you'll see the first step in the CRISP-DM methodology is business understanding and data understanding. So when it comes to a clinical lens, specifically the goal for this course, which is to develop a hospital KPI dashboard, you want to ask a wide range of individuals within the hospital or healthcare organization who will be interacting with this data product, from clinicians, senior management, to administrators, and everyone in between. Some example questions you might ask end users include, how will this report or dashboard help you to do your job more effectively? What are the top 3 benefits you want to see as a result of this report or dashboard being implemented? How involved do you want to be on a daily basis when it comes to interacting with the report or dashboard? What processes do you already have in place to record your key performance indicators? And what are the biggest pain points you have currently when collecting these key performance indicators? Asking these questions or a variation of these questions can inform you of what viewing permissions certain departments should have or which metrics would be beneficial to include based on the current clinical workflow. Understanding how end users will be using the data tool on a day-to-day basis and how this tool will be integrated into their jobs and what value it will provide to them is necessary information to understand prior to designing your dashboard. This process might require multiple interviews and meetings initially, but will save you time in the long run. In addition, understanding why they need this tool built can help you to whittle down the scope of what you need to build. Depending on their answers, they might need a quick superficial overview of historical metrics, and that can be designed as a one-page report, or they might be a more involved user group and will need real-time analysis of clinical metrics that they can action on immediately, and therefore a dashboard with multiple tabs might be a better option. So this is an overview of the problem we will be solving in this course. Imagine hospital management has been noticing patient satisfaction scores have been trending down across 4 hospital locations, and they want you to investigate metrics that might be contributing to these low satisfaction scores. So your potential solution is to build a hospital KPI dashboard which tracks some common metrics to see if clinical practice can improve patient satisfaction scores in the future. So before we jump into building this hospital KPI dashboard, some of the key common performance indicators that are used by healthcare organizations and would be used in this project include average time to see healthcare provider. This can be calculated by the average elapsed time between when the patient was admitted and when they saw a healthcare provider. Patient satisfaction scores. This can be a score provided by the patient, rating the care provided with a score of potentially 1 being very unsatisfied to 5 being very satisfied. Patient readmission rate, and this can be calculated as if the patient was readmitted back to hospital within a 30-day period, yes or no. Average hospital length of stay, which can be the average elapsed time between when the patient was admitted and when they were discharged. So this is an overview of some of the KPIs that we might encounter within this course. So each hospital or healthcare organization can determine what are the target values for these KPIs, as this can vary widely based on the location and size of the organization, to name a few factors. These metrics can be a representative view of how the organization is performing, and by focusing on these metrics, one can help drive improved patient outcomes. Each hospital or healthcare organization can determine what are the target values for these KPIs, as this can vary widely based on the location and size of the organization. Understanding historical performance is another good way to determine target values. However, there are some anomalies, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, which might drastically change certain metrics, for example, the staffing rates. That might have to be taken into consideration when looking at historical data. These metrics can represent a holistic view of how the organization is performing, and by focusing on these metrics, one can help drive improved patient outcomes. When building a dashboard, it is also important to include an information page, which can speak to the metrics and provide context to the data. Things like where the data has been collected from and some of the limitations of displaying the data. For example, you might report on the population of missing data that was present in the patient satisfaction scores you collected. You might also want to report on the inherent nature of shared accountability when it comes to clinical metrics and how care does not just stop within the hospital setting, but also outside with respect to community care. If you want to do a deeper dive into any of these healthcare metrics, average time to see the healthcare provider, patient satisfaction scores, patient readmission rates, or average hospital length of stay, I have a whole series on the Health Analytic Insights podcast where I talk all about the field of health informatics, and I've done an entire series diving deeper into these metrics, and this will be linked in the transcript of this module. So back to the course, the dataset that we'll be using for this portfolio project is a fake dummy dataset and doesn't contain any real patient information. So you can use this dataset to build out your hospital KPI dashboard found in the course contents. The result of this course will be to create this Power BI dashboard that you see pictured here, which you can then publish to web, and you'll receive a unique link which can be embedded into a professional blog or just hyperlinked in your resume. This will give you an opportunity to speak to the technical skills you have developed and the specific data cleaning and exploration methods you've applied. In the next module, we will be downloading DB Browser for SQLite and writing SQL queries. SQL stands for Structured Query Language and is used to query databases, which contain tables consisting of information. We'll practice our data exploration skills by writing SQL queries. See you in the next module.